Alright. Turn the music. Let me know if the music is too loud or too low. But I finally figured, I mean, maybe it's smart to just have some music playing. I feel like the streams sometimes feel a little like empty. So let me know if the music's too loud or if it's too low. But this is a sketch I'm trying to finish today. I got these new paints. I got these new Shinhan paints, which... Well, I guess we'll talk more about them when people start coming in. But I'll just say I'm really liking them. At least so far. This is the first day I've been working with them, so I guess we'll see how I like them coming up, but for now I think they're kind of fun. And I don't see too much difference between these and like the other Shinhan paints that I've worked with. Okay. I feel like with Woody, there's this whole thing where like he looks super creepy if you don't. Like I think we need to do something. We need to do something to fix his eyes. But to be fair, like this is just kind of how he looks. But even still, there's got to be something different when he's like when he's what's the word? Like when he's alive or when he's like there's got to be something different with his eyes because I know he doesn't always look like this, so I think I'm gonna try to do something. We could add eyelids, but I just in all the references I saw, I didn't see him having any eyelids. So maybe it's like a Mandela effect or something. But I think a lot of it's the fact that his eyes are so wide open. Let me look. I'm gonna try to see. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a reference photo where he looks more endearing. Like here's one. I guess in this photo he looks more endearing. So I guess what I'm seeing is that his eyes are still really big. The only difference though is that the eyebrows are different directions, or the eyebrows are different setup than here. Well, also his mouth is closed, but and the highlights are a lot smaller. So maybe we'll do that. I think I want to move his eyebrows. I think that's the first thing I want to do. Because there is something really uncanny at the moment. Like it makes him look like a doll, which is it's kind of the goal, but also kind of not the goal. Because I think anybody wants to see Woody in his like lively form. I think that's the more interesting one, the less creepy version too. So I'm gonna just take this eyebrow out. Hey VVS Kutashi. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to take this eyebrow out because I feel like he looks a little too creepy in this way. So we'll just take this one out and we'll put it there. But aside from that, I feel like he looks quite a bit like him. I think we still need to fix this and then this. These two areas feel empty in a weird way. And I think we can fix them with the same color, so that should be good. Yeah, he does have that toy. I mean, I know he's supposed to be a toy. Turn the music back up. I know he's supposed to be a toy, but I feel like he looks a little too much like a toy. Maybe I'll zoom in for you guys. I felt like it was easier with Buzz. When I did the painting of Buzz, I feel like Buzz didn't struggle. Or Buzz didn't look so much like a doll. Buzz looked more like a character. How many colors to make a shade? It really just depends on like what I'm, like where we're at on the painting. But I always try to avoid, and I guess really for no real reason because you can get away with it. But I try to avoid painting from the tube directly. I feel like that just makes it look a little more. I just don't feel like that looks right when you paint directly from the tube. Because you're always mixing something. Even if the paint's pretty close to how it looks in the tube, you're always mixing something. All right. Let's put in his eyebrow. Hopefully that'll make him look a little bit better. With Buzz, his expression did a lot for. His expression did a lot to make him more human-esque. But I feel like with Woody, he's just so blankly happy that it's kind of a little bit unsettling. But I think this will be good. I think this is a good expression to give him. Hope the music is alright. Let's see. I wish it was easier to find music to play, but it's kind of tricky a little bit. Okay, let's put this in. Now I'm going back and forth with myself in my head with whether or not I went to. Hey VVS, is the music loud or is it quieter? How's the music? Okay, there you go. And I think also once we add in some highlights, maybe he'll look a little more lifelike. Because right now the brightest thing are his eyes. So maybe once we add some lighter spots to his skin, he'll look a little less scary. This spot here is giving me issues as well. For some reason, I also thought Woody had kind of the same thing that Buzz has, a little curl, a little beard curl. I thought Woody had that same thing, but I guess not. Okay, let's try and darken up his eyebrow. Thanks, Lenvink. I appreciate it. Yeah, these are new paints. So these are, let's see. These are Shinhan designer gouache. So it's like, even though I've used Shinhan a lot before, this is it's a different line, I guess, in their paints. Like I've been using the Shinhan Pass paints, which are like a different line, I guess. But I've had no problem with them so far. That's too thick. We'll have to fix that as well. I think he's looking more lively already. The eyebrows were definitely making him look a little spooky. I also think the skin highlights too. I think as we As we add more highlights to his skin, he'll look a little more realistic, a little more lifelike, I guess, or lively, I suppose. I really need this little spot to dry up. So I'm hoping I'll have this finished in not too much longer here. And then we can get back to working on the comic. Okay, let's see. Could be the humidity, but this part is drying super slow right now. I do honestly feel a little bit like, because this set has different colors that I'm used to, like let's see. So this set comes with ultramarine blue, a turquoise blue, white, a black, a violet. It comes with a carmine, scarlet, yellow, yellow orange, burnt sienna, and then it comes with two greens. I feel like for some reason, like I'm just so like some of these are my usuals. Like these are kind of similar to my usuals. These two are very different than my usuals. This is pretty similar to my usual. This is similar. This is different. This is similar. This is kind of similar. So for the most part, you would think I would have like it would just feel the exact same. But I feel like something about them just is a little bit different. And so I'm trying to readjust. But that's kind of how it is. I feel like, especially if you wait until you have to refill your paint, and then if you refill it with different colors, it's like you kind of get shocked. Or you just kind of, you're in a little bit of like, you just have to adjust, I suppose. Yeah, you always have to adjust to new paints, and that's, I guess that's kind of fun for some people. I'm such like a, I get stuck in whatever I keep doing, especially with paints. Like I just, once I get in the habit of using particular paints, I just see no reason to change it up. Unless I need to replace something really quickly, then I'll buy a new kind of paint or something. Trying to add some color to his eyes as well. I feel like that'll help make him not look so uncanny. Speaking of uncanny, did you guys see? This might be old news at this point, but I always get stuff weeks after they come out. These like Chinese and these Russian robots that are like speaking, they speak and they do like little tricks and stuff. Those things are pretty uncanny. I saw a video on the Russian one in particular that was really weird because they had like a rubber face. That was pretty odd. All right. I feel like I should fix the background too. Yeah, let's fix the background. They were kind of creepy Pretty creepy. I also just feel like we're walking. I feel like we're walking a little too close. I feel like we're walking this line very closely with these robots and stuff. Like it's gonna be all fun and games until it's not. That's what worries me with these robots. Or even aside from them being like evil, just like the whole idea of like Wall-E, the movie Wall-E, where like humans kind of like have robots that do everything for them, so then they don't really like do their own stuff. I feel like even that's like a big enough worry that would make me not really want to indulge too deep in the robot stuff. All right, let's just do this background again. I think the first background was good. It's just I've made so many mistakes since then that need to be covered up. Can you guys hear the music as well? I hope you guys can. We'll see if I get copyright striked from this. I hope not, but okay. It's so like I think you can tell it's copyright free, but this is the best we got for now. I'm gonna spend more time looking though to try to find more fitting music for me personally, but I think it's good for now. If it was me, we'd be hearing cowboy music. Also, I'm painting on like poster board right now. Which I mean like by poster board I mean like not like the good poster board that like artists use. I'm painting on like the poster board that you ask your parents to get for like the day before presentation because you need you need to make like a trifold or you need to make like a poster for school. I bought a couple of those like a couple of days ago and I cut them up into a bunch of little pieces. So we'll be using that I guess until I finish it up or until I get tired of it. I always hear people say, like, as advice, to like flip your drawing while you're drawing, but I almost never do that, honestly, which is probably a lot of my issues, at least some of them. I never look at my paintings upside down or from a different angle. I honestly sometimes I do see that in my paintings, like where they're kind of skewed off to one side, or like I'll be painting from like a lower, I'll be painting from like this angle, so it looks right from there, but then when you go like this, sometimes it doesn't look right. That's probably why people flip stuff and turn it and look at it from all different angles. I thought about maybe giving him his hat, but I feel like that would be too much. I feel like that would be a little too much for this drawing. Okay, I feel like what could benefit us right now is using more purple. So I'm going to... So this is... You know, let me grab the other one. Let me grab my other purple. All right, so this is... Let's see. Let's find it. This is the other Shinhan purple. Is this it? No. Here it is. So this is the other... Oh, I had to draw the Mona Lisa 5 times upside down in drawing. Oh my goodness. I feel like that would be painful. I feel like drawing in general is painful. Aside from having to draw the Mona Lisa, drawing in general. All right, so this is the normal Shinhan violet that I use, and then this is Shinhan's other violet. This is Shinhan's other violet, which is way lighter. I'm so used to this one. I'm not gonna say I like this one more. I do love this one, but I feel like hopefully I'll come to like this one as well. I never took a drawing class, but I feel like it would be very... I feel like I wouldn't like it though, honestly. There's something so like stressful. I feel like drawing is kind of like math. Like there's a clear answer and there's a clear way to get there, but like you can only go the hard way through, and I kind of don't like that. I kind of hate that. That to me, that's how math a lot of math felt. Which I didn't hate math, but a lot of math feels like you know how to get to them. You know, there's a way to get to the answer. We're gonna tell you how to get to the answer, but you still have to go through it like the hard way. And I feel like painting is a lot like that. You know what the end result should look like. You know how to get there. You know how to measure. You know how to put the lines down and everything. But ultimately, like, you still have to put in hours to make a decent drawing. Yeah, that was a lot for me. I prefer to just paint. Because at least with painting, I feel rewarded, like, all along the way. With drawing, I only kind of feel rewarded, like, at the end. Because I don't like the process of drawing. Maybe that's just a mindset shift. A mindset shift I should work on. But I don't feel like I enjoy the process of drawing. I forgot about a star. We have to finish a star. Let's work on a star a bit. Having music is so much more relaxing than painting in silence. Really? Do you enjoy drawing, Len Vink? I always think about saying your name in like a German accent, but I don't know if that's how it's said. Yeah, for me, I always saw it as like you have to push. Like this is the hardest, least rewarding, most difficult part, but you have to get through it if you wanna be painting. That's how I always saw it. I know some people like to draw because it's like that's where they that's where they can like that's where their art not that's where their art stops, but like that is their art. So it's like they find enjoyment in it. I always saw drawing as like it's a means to an end. It's not an end in and of itself. Oh, Belgium. Okay. I think I already knew that. I don't even know why I asked. I think I already knew that. I'm pretty sure you said that before. But yeah, I always saw drawing as like a necessary evil or a necessary pain, I guess. feel like painting's the fun part. But I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. If you guys like drawing, that's more than okay with me. Um. Okay. Okay. Well, what kind of way do you draw, Len? I know there's some people who draw loosely, but I guess I'm talking more about like art class drawing, like art professor drawing, like that kind of drawing, where you like have to be like okay, I'm gonna like this is what it's like. I feel like art class always makes you draw like this. Like that kind of drawing where like instead of let me sharpen my pencil because for the most part I draw. Hold on. Like say I needed like what's something basic that you would have to draw? Like say I needed to draw like a face. Say I needed to draw like a basic face. I would just do this. I would probably just like find like I'd find the head, I'd find like where the eyes go, I'd find where the nose goes. I'd put in a little bit for whatever the facial expression was. I would cut the angle of here, I'd do that, cut that angle, make sure that we know where the cheekbone and the shadow is. And for most part, like this is all I need. Like I'd be done. That's my drawing. And that'd be done, and I would go on to painting. But I feel like art professors make you do that whole thing where you're like measuring every angle. You go like, that's one little tiny angle. I just don't like focusing that much. That's why I feel like it's when people are able to draw and they draw really well, that's how you know they're like I think they're on a different level than me. I think they're on a different they're just a little more capable of sticking to it than I am. But who knows? Maybe when I get older, I'll feel more apt to taking time to draw. I like drawing for painting's sake. That's what I like. But I used to like to draw when I was a little kid, though. I like that because I wasn't trying to draw well in particular. I was just trying to. It was just cool that you could. I really, and I think I've said this before, but I really liked the. I liked the idea of having something like a toy, but it's like if you can't always be buying toys, it's like I liked. At the very least, you could like make a drawing, and that's kind of like similar. Not really, but I guess to me it was at that time. But I always loved doing stuff like that, like making like cardboard Nerf guns or like I don't know, always doing stuff like that. And I feel like drawings were very similar to doing that. I also really like that Shinhan gives you so much paint for like a decent price. These are each like 15 milliliters, which compared to any other brand, I feel like they would give you like half that, maybe. Especially not for this price. Like, I only paid $40 for these 12 paints, which might sound expensive. I mean, I don't know how that sounds to you guys, but in my opinion, like for a decent quality paint, you could end up spending like $10 per tube, and it still might not even be great. Yeah, I feel like Shinon doesn't cheap you out on the amount of paint they give you. Keep adding some highlights. I feel like that'll help him out. I feel like we don't have too much more to do. I think he needs a clarifying line out here. Other than that, I don't really see what else. So let's put that line in and then... Oh. This brush is kind of messed up, so there's little bits and pieces that escape. We'll just cover that up a bit. All right, I'm gonna give it a signature. I might come back to do something else, but for now, I think it's close enough to sign it. I'm not gonna be redoing the background at least. I say that and then I touch another 10 things before I call it a day. All right. We'll call that one a day. I do, though, want to work on my comic a bit more, so I'm going to put these away. Oh. I'm going to put this to the side. Again, once this dries, I might feel the need to change something. But for now, I think it's okay. All right, let's put this... I guess we'll leave it here for a second. Before I started working on this one, actually, before I started working on this today, this Woody drawing, I was working on this page for my comic, which isn't actually that far from being done. I kind of skipped around though because earlier I was working on a page that I couldn't stand. I was just so tired of working on it. But this one's quite a bit easier, and this one's a little more rewarding. I feel like some of the scenes, like the scenes go through these like phases where the beginning ones are very like multicolored, then midway through it gets very red, white, and blue, and then towards the end it kind of shifts towards this color palette. So let me clean up my water and then we'll get into this one. I also think something about this one is makes me like really happy because this is pretty much the ending of the comic, and it's like a kind of a nice happy ending. All right, let's close this Woody and get back to work. So this one, I'm not using those paints again. I'll probably only replace them when I really need to. Maybe the black. I can use the black paint because that's pretty unoffensive. But I don't want to mix up the two color palettes. Let's see. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. I'll fill in the black again, but I don't want to fill the rest of them. I'll definitely have to look more though because I'll have to look again to see which paints they have in this line and if they have any other like sets. Because if they have a set that's a little closer to my color palette already, I think I definitely would go ahead and buy more of these paints, even just as backups. I will say though, they're pretty wet. Like they're pretty. Maybe they'll get a little more like thick when they dry, but they're pretty wet out of the tube. I'm really like I like to draw this truck. This is like a it's not exactly, but it's based on like a Chevy K10, or I think it's like a C10. I can't tell if the K10 actually existed or if the K10 is just like a souped up C10 or S10. I think it's S10. I don't know, but I don't know. It's based on something I saw that was called a K10, a Chevy K10. I didn't think much about the house cut. See, did I have a reference for the house? I don't think I did. Okay, but what color makes sense? I feel like with a lot of blue, a lot of orange, a lot of green. Maybe you can always change it. Like, let me think of my dream. I feel like I would have like a grayish brown house. But would that look right? We'll just have to see. We'll have to see. I feel like this is okay. I should have thought about that. I really love when houses have green roofs, though. Like those green. I don't think they're tin. I'm not sure if they're tin roofs, but those green the green corrugated roofs. I'm a big fan of that. But I don't know if we can do that. There's so much green already in this page. The orange, I didn't really think about how the orange would play. I just knew that if I ever got a truck like this, I would definitely want an orange one. So that one I didn't even think about it, but with the house color, I feel like we're definitely gonna need to go a little lighter. I feel like maybe we'll just have a white house. Maybe that'll be what we'll do, and we'll give it like a dark. We'll give it a dark roof, like a dark burgundy roof. Yeah. So sometimes I try to factor in how it'll look on the page, and then sometimes I just kind of get over excited, and I just go on what I imagine it being. We'll definitely need to make the house lighter. Honestly, the we need to make it more bright anyways. This look is looking really dull, so we need to. I guess that's good to find out and to have an opinion on. I want the house to be like more burgundy roof and like a white siding. Yeah, I don't mind that. I like the red roof. I think we'll definitely need to make the house a little brighter though, because this is the dreary gray isn't doing it for me. It's a little better. I think it's a little happier too. It looks a little less sad when it has the white walls and the red roof. But we're gonna have to wait till that dries to really go back in. All right, this is gonna be hard too. I need to see the reference of these two characters. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, so they're about the same skin tone. I wasn't sure if they were. I feel like in the last one they weren't very close in skin tone. I think this one she's actually darker, so we'll go with that. I actually wasn't sure. I feel like last time they weren't necessarily the same skin tone, so I had to imagine them. Imagine the two characters. I'm gonna make her darker just so that we can, so nothing gets like twisted up. No, none of the figures get confused for who is who. I guess you can literally see the reference. I didn't know that. I guess that's fine. Whatever. I actually think I had to combine two references because I think or I had to flip. I had to do something because I think she was flipped the other way in one of them. It's always hard because references are sometimes so close, but still not quite right. Okay, and I think what is he wearing? I don't think we've decided what he's wearing yet in this scene. Let's see if I did. He's probably wearing the same thing as the beginning, so. What is he wearing? Blue jeans and a brown jacket. Yeah, blue jeans and a brown jacket. so that's what we'll go with again. Well, I guess he's not wearing a jacket here. He's just wearing a white shirt. I thought about giving her a white shirt too, but I think we'll end up giving her like a light green shirt. But then there's so much green. Oh my goodness. So much green if we do that. We could do a different color. We could do like I don't want to say orange. I feel like orange would be too much. I don't know. I guess we'll find out here in a second what I'm gonna do. I want to do something to break up all the green. Maybe red. I guess red wouldn't be bad. Yeah, let's see what red's gonna look like. The only thing is if we go red, it's gonna be hard to do anything else later. Let's do pink first. Let's see how... no, it can't be pink. It could be... Okay, let's think. So much green. If we do pink, I feel like it'll look too close to their skin tones. And then if we do red, it'll be really bright and kind of take up the whole page. We do purple. That's kind of a good middle point. Yeah, let's do purple. Let's make it like a lighter purple though. Well, it's still a dark purple, but lighter than like as dark as it could be. Although I've never really been a huge fan of purple clothes. Maybe, man. I can't tell if this is the right choice. I feel like maybe we could have gone something more delicate and like light. Because this color is maybe too much. Probably maybe we'll do more blue. I feel like we'll end up doing more blue for her. But at least we're getting close. We're kind of close. All right, whatever. We'll let that dry and we'll see what happens. I feel like because that's the way it is, we're gonna have to do the dog a relatively light color, like a yellow lab or something. All right, purple's not so bad. I guess maybe we'll go with the purple, but we'll have to see. I just don't want it to be so much. I don't want it to take up so much of the page, or just take up so much attention. It's not bad. We'll see what that looks like on the small scale too. It sucks I didn't keep these references though, because sometimes I don't know where they came from. I don't know how to. I don't quite know exactly what everything was going on in the reference. Even though I drew them again, it's like I feel like maybe I kind of should have kept them around. You know what? I think when I imagined this, I imagined her having a green top, like a light green top. I just feel like there's too much. I feel like there's just too much green on the page already, so it wouldn't make sense to give her a green top unless somehow we change what's going on, which I feel like the green is a good color. Whatever, we'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna finish it as it is, and we'll see if we end up changing the top color, the color of her top. Probably his as well. I don't mind it being light, but we'll give her blue. A blue, what's it called? Blue skirt. A jean skirt. This also seems too high. Maybe it should be lower, like here. I'm really nervous about how to paint this scene, or this little, yeah, I guess it's a scene. I'm gonna try and just put in some lights out here, and then I'm guessing. Well, I'm kind of planning that the whole rest of the scene will be relatively dark. Probably be like a brownish. We'll have to wait for this to. Oh, okay. Let's take that off. Some of this paint is so wet that it just like. Okay, this whole scene is. We had to redo that, but it's okay. At least it wasn't one of the important scenes. I mean, this scene is important too, but I can redo that one. This is just like a house interior. Basically, it's all brown anyways. It's only really important that we can see out to this little spot. Alright. I'm gonna keep attacking the outside color of the house until we get it right. Hopefully I have some more of this yellow as well, because this is kind of holding up the green. Let's see. I have to re-wet this or do something to it. All right, we've hit an hour. I want to say thank you guys for watching, those of you guys that did. And thank you for those of you guys that are watching in the replay. Try to stream again, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Hopefully I'll be finished with this page by tomorrow at least. So yeah, see you guys and thank you. Bye.